Hello, everyone. Welcome to Discover CTY Online Programs webinar. My name is Beatrice, and I will be your host today. Today with me is Keli Walls, our Director of Online Experience. As you may know by now, CTY offers on-campus programs which happened during the summer in the US in person, and also online programs which happened all year round, allowing students to join us from different parts of the world. And here is today's focus. Today's agenda is very simple. We will focus on online programs. So I will start today's webinars with a quick introductions of our online programs and then welcome Keli back to answer some of the most commonly asked questions among parents. Hopefully that will help you learn and understand more about the programs. Now, without further delay, let's take a deeper dive into our online programs. At CTY, online programs are offered to students as young as in grade 2 through grade 12. They are easy to access courses, and students can choose different learning formats according to their preference. They happen all year round. Students can just join us from anywhere in the world. But in order to enroll, they must first test or submit existing score to qualify for admission. There are indeed many benefits for bright learners at our online programs, and online programs have some great courses which are interesting and engaging, often not found in a regular school setting, or at least not for the student at their current grade level. They are a blend of acceleration and enrichment, challenging students at the right level and also allow them to explore the topic of their interest. Because here at CTY, unlike school, students don't have to study everything. They can focus on what they truly like and also what they're good in. Above all is our people. We're able to connect bright students with our instructors, whom we call the subject matter experts, who would guide them throughout the entire learning process and give them constant and detailed feedback to help them master the advisor skill and concepts. In this academic year, we are going to add to the catalog even more options. So there will be definitely new courses, and some of them are listed here for your reference. But if you wanted to find out more, do check out our website. Some of these are already open for registration. And we also have new course formats, such as some of the new mini course, one of which has already started, will soon start on October 28th. Previously, we mentioned that students can choose different learning formats, and at CTY Online Programs, we have the following course formats. They are session-based, individually paced, live, and clubs, and we're going to go through each of them here now. Session-based courses are asynchronous, while each student will be given a schedule to submit their coursework on a timely basis, so they are more structured. Students of the same course will start and finish the course on the same date, and because of that, there is an opportunity for them to interact and share ideas with one another through our online discussion forums. With that being said, all the coursework are still independent with no live classroom, so time difference wouldn't be a concern. Well, if you wanted to see the complete course lists, please check out our website. Overall, I would say that our session-based courses are particularly good for students who prefer some interactions with their classmates and who want some structure in their coursework. Up next, we also have individually paced. As for individually paced courses, just like session-based courses, they're asynchronous with no live classroom, so time difference again wouldn't be a problem. However, unlike session-based courses, there are just no given schedule. Instead, students will develop their own learning plans with their instructor, working closely with this instructor to master the skill and advise the concept truly at their own pace. Because of that, these courses are particularly good for students who are self-motivated, with strong sense of time management, and also want greater flexibility to take breaks as needed for, let's say, the upcoming competitions or even school exams. We also have live. As the name suggests, during these live classes, there will be live classroom, and because of that, time difference will be something that the student need to take into consideration during the application. Well, student will have to choose the meeting time that will work for them not just once, but every time throughout the entire course period. During the summer, live courses will be for 3 weeks. So every week, student will gather around and meet 3 times per week, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 hour each. Outside the summer, the course could be up for, let's say, 8 weeks. And every week, students will gather around and meet once per week, 1 hour each. So students will have to pick a meeting time that will work for them every time because all these live classrooms will not be recorded. If you miss it, you will miss it for real, and there will be no makeup classes or recording provided. And if you miss it more than twice, it will significantly impact your progress or even ultimately whether or not you can complete these courses. Well, during the live classroom, students will get the chance to connect and share ideas with their classmates. And unlike session-based and individually paced courses, live courses are more enrichment-based, allowing students to explore topics that are often not found in a school setting or even not until they get to college. So you may take a look at some of the examples down below. They are really good for students who enjoy a lively virtual class setting and are also motivated to work independently, are curious, and love diving into special interest topic. Last but not least, we also have clubs. Clubs are not courses, but they are definitely a fun options for you to consider at CTY. So if you're interested in having fun through different topics of your interest and want to be social, you can explore these cool subjects in a casual setting through clubs. So you will have weekly meetings guided by our club advisor with your classmate. And here is the range of tuition and fees for reference. Again, while the actual fees and tuitions may vary by course, but then for live courses, whether it is 3 weeks during the summer or 8 weeks outside of the summer, it will still be at a fixed fee at $1,325 US. For individually paced and session-based courses, they might come in various durations. So some may be for a shorter period of time, let's say 3 months. Some may be as long as for 9 months, such as the AP courses. So therefore, they will come at the higher end. For the actual number, please refer to our website again. Well, this is the basic of our online programs. Now let's welcome Keli Walls back, our Director of Online Programs, to answer some of the most commonly asked questions from parents. So Keli, please.
Thank
The
you,
first
Beatrix.
Yes. So Keli, the first questions that we have here is, how do you help students choose the right placement?
The right placement is really based on a student's eligibility, which, as you've pointed out, is established through testing. So CTY is committed to a rigorous approach, and really this is achieved by above grade level testing. So students are typically working above grade level to accomplish their learning goals, and this ensures that our courses provide these academically advanced students with the most appropriate challenge level. CTY courses are open to students who achieve qualifying scores on a CTY approved test, and parents can check out our website for online course descriptions, which includes information about eligibility requirements for each course. Math qualifiers can take courses in science, technology, computer science, and engineering, as well as many upper level or grade level math courses. Verbal qualifiers can take courses in writing, grammar, critical reading, visual literacy, humanities, and many of the social sciences. This is how we ensure that students choose the right placement.
Mm. So, well, the assessment is not to label the student, but really to help us understand their true academic potential and how their ability is so that we can put them at the right level to start with. Well, and one more thing that I wanted to mention here is we actually have another webinars on testing and eligibility. So if you wanted to find out more in that regard, do check out our webinar on that topic. The next questions that we have here is, what are your expectations to ensure the academic rigor?
We expect for CTY students to be fully engaged in their learning process, which means that there is evidence of critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, oral and written communications, and these opportunities that allow students to analyze information, but most importantly, creating unique spaces that encourages their creativity. So we focus on higher level thinking and active learning on the part of the student, ensuring that their course provides enough opportunities for them to apply what they've learned in a meaningful way. This means that lessons set clear expectations for students to show how well they meet their learning objectives and how they can extend their knowledge beyond what they learn in the classroom, connecting it to something that is useful, whether it be on topics around climate change or global health issues, poverty, vaccines and immunity, or accessing clean drinking water. But ultimately, helping students realize the impact they can make to change their community and beyond based on what they're actually learning in their lesson. This is how
Mm,
we ensure that we in academic rigor for our students.
mm. And Alexis, how do you appropriately challenge your students and engage them throughout the entire course?
At CTY, we ensure that our lessons and activities promote deep thinking and learning that maintain a productive challenge for students, which ultimately helps keep them engaged. So, allowing them to take ownership of the course material so that they understand and see the value and purpose in what they are learning. Ultimately, we know that advanced students thrive most when they accelerate their learning, challenge themselves, and follow their curiosity in a safe, supportive environment. And this is what we offer at CTY. How does this happen? Well, this is achieved by allowing multiple ways for students to demonstrate their understanding of their course material, which means whether they are engaged in putting a project together or conducting a lab report or lab experiment, writing a research paper or a podcast, as well as demonstrating their creativity in illustrations and posters and diagrams and much more. These are opportunities that we provide so that we can keep students challenged and engaged throughout the course that they're enrolled in.
Mhm. Right. I often see that the students are most engaged when they're appropriately challenged. And as you said, all of these contents are very student driven as well.
Yes.
And Lexis, can you tell me more about your instructor's qualifications and experience?
When we look for CTY instructors, we are focusing on what we value most. And this includes instructors who have innovation skills, creativity, integrity, engagement, and a shared commitment to our mission to develop and support a diverse community of academically advanced pre-college students. And this, of course, is in partnership with their families, teachers, and other educators. So our minimum qualifications include a bachelor's degree from an accredited college or university in a specific content related field with at least 2 years teaching experience. However, a master's degree is strongly preferred. But we're looking for someone with excellent organizational and communication skills, someone who has experience working with students from diverse backgrounds, experience teaching in person as well as online, with an emphasis on building peer community. These are the qualifications that we're looking for our instructors.
Well, right. I agree that communications is very important because oftentimes when we talk to parents, they would have these questions whether or not all of our instructor are professor at college or university. Well, the answer is no, because we also look into not just their qualification, but also their communication skills with students of that particular grade level as well. Since we have students as young as in grade 2, it may not be always ideal to have a professor speaking to a second grader because professor may be more used to speaking to young adults like high schoolers instead. So anyhow, all of this will be taken into account during our hiring process. And the next questions that we have is how often can my child meet the instructor?
Beatrice, really as often as necessary. Students can schedule a one-on-one meeting to ask questions about a homework assignment or to review for a test or quiz or really anything that a student would need to support their learning. If their course has scheduled group meetings that they cannot attend, the meeting can be recorded and they are encouraged to work with their instructor to find a reasonable time for the two of them to meet.
Right, because I understand that a lot of the international parents may have concern about the time difference. Well, but the thing is, as Kelly, you just mentioned that, well, outside of the classroom, they can often like schedule a time individually with the instructor, really find a time that will work best for both the student and the instructor too. So definitely something can be worked out.
Yes.
And here we have the next questions. Are there frequent assessment and feedback?
Absolutely, Beatrix. All along the way, there are regular assessments that check on the student's understanding of what they're learning, either in the form of an exam, a discussion, a project, a writing assignment, or some other activity, whether it be graded or ungraded, depending on the course, but always providing students with detailed, helpful feedback so that they understand where they are in attaining their learning goals and what improvements, if necessary, are needed for them to be successful.
Mm. And I know that this detailed and helpful feedback will not just happen throughout the entire course, of course, but also towards the end of the course. So upon course completion, student will also receive a narrative evaluation reports, which contain a lot of helpful information, such as like how well the student has been doing, and also area of for further improvements or to further explore, or even recommendation for future coursework as well. And because of
Yes.
that, we often encourage parents or even students to share that information with, let's say, someone at their school, so that that person can also continue to support student in that regard as well, or even add that to their student portfolio.
Yes.
Okay, the last questions that we have here is, what are the roles of parents?
So really the primary role of the parent is to encourage and support the student by following their progress and communicating with the instructor to see how best to support the student in areas especially that need improvement, but also how to extend what they learn beyond the classroom. And this can happen by asking questions, discussing current events, let's say during dinner time, that are related to the course that they're taking, and making connections with real world problems and issues. The parent, the student, and the teacher working together really and truly is what produces the best outcome for the student.
Totally. Well, thank you so much, Kelly, for all this information. Hopefully, all this can help parents to understand more about our programs and make the next decision. So, if you are considering to start with us, well, first off, is you will have to submit a joint CTY application. After that, you will then have the access to your My CTY account, and from then onwards, everything that you do at CTY, such as your tests and then the test wall, and if later on, if you qualify, enroll in some of our courses, all the enrollment records can also be found there. So hopefully we will be able to see your child with us soon. And before we finish today's webinars, here are some free resources for families. If you wanted to find out more about what other parents think, their feedback, their questions, you can join our Facebook group. We also have some recommended readings for advisor learner, and the reading list is here. We also have different webinars. As said before, we have the webinars on testing and eligibility, and some on online programs today, and then on-campus summer programs too. So you can check them out through the links here. Last but not least, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send them our way. You can email your questions to this email address, or even scan this QR code to schedule an appointment with an enrollment advisor. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, and hopefully we'll be able to see your child with us soon. Thank you.